Well, it seems that you are here in part 2, right? I did another video that was like at least 4 hours long, which at that point isn't reaction content or a podcast. We are here with Drimes? It's YouTube drama, but it's also crimes. So whatever we want to call it now, because I don't really like dealing with like petty ass YouTube drama, to be honest with you. I find it really lame and it doesn't really interest me. But I do love crimes and allegations because honestly, it's super interesting. And a lot of the time it affects the whole entire platform based on who it is. So I get intrigued by it and I like true crime in general. So instead of murder, it's going to be people murdering their careers. Let's get straight into it. Before we get started, I upload videos every single day. I do reactions, I do gaming, I do literally variety. So whatever I feel like doing is what goes on this channel. If you feel like you're into that, hit the like button, subscribe button, leave a comment down below to feed the algorithm quads. And hope you enjoy another God knows how many hour-long video this is because I talk a lot. Let's get into it. I work for MrBeast and he's a sociopath is the name of this one.
Hungry? All right, jokes for food. I wish a philanthropist YouTuber would just give me 10K and not film it. Hey, what the hell happened to you? MrBeast, that's what happened to me.
What we do here is go back.
I was gonna be somebody. I was gonna be the Carl trick like that.
Wait, you were actually in the videos? Oh shit. Oh, that's pretty cool. Jake Weddle.
Okay, content cop from Timu back at it again. So just before I get into my interrogation with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle, a lot has happened since my last video. After posting like hundreds of messages from former MrBeast employees, I have no proof of former employment. You know, just people showing their support or telling their stories of you know, fake videos or unsafe practices, you know, toxic workplace, stuff like that.
I'm glad someone else said it too about nice kitchen. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, he has a great HUD for his kitchen. I'm glad someone else said it so I'm not weird. W. That's how I know we all old as fuck. We're like, what appliances he got back there, huh? What? Is that a bread holder on the counter? Ooh, he keeping his bread fresh back there? Ooh, what's the backsplash? Ooh, is that green tile? There's backsplash on the cup.
I'm not really going to get into those claims because, for one, like, most people want to stay anonymous, which I understand. And also, like, I think most of that stuff's just been covered with you know, the news coming out about Beast Games and everything. And also I have like more serious allegations that I want to start covering. Also, I heard from a very credible source that MrBeast has been sitting on a response to part 1 because he was worried if he posted it, I would instantly respond with part 2, you know, like this is Kids Bop, Kendrick Lamar vs. Drake. Also, I know MrBeast's secret CEO has been practically like harassing my people on, you know, hey, what's in part 2? What does he know? So I will just tell you.
I'm gonna just say this right now. He is so much more charismatic in this one compared to the part 1 that we watched. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but bro amped up his charisma to a 10. Go off, King. Okay.
You, James, what will be in part 3, so you don't have to harass my people. It will be about serious allegations of sexual misconduct in the company and your direct involvement in covering up those crimes. And I'll make sure to give you full credit and plaster your face all over the screen when we talk about that. So yeah, I've gotten dozens of messages.
Oh, what the fuck? Is this just the Chris Tyson thing or more than the Chris Tyson thing? Oh my God. Sorry, Ava Chris Tyson. What the fuck? More? Oh shit, bitch. I don't know nothing.
Very serious allegations.
Okay.
So I just want to put a call to action at the start of this video that, you know, if you have a story, you can DM me. Just make sure you send proof of employment first because I get a lot of DMs. And like, as much as I meme and joke around, like, I take anonymity very seriously. So without explicit permission, I don't go public with anything. And obviously, if it goes to court, I would hope they would censor your information from the court documents. I don't know. Oh, and former contestants too. That's another thing I heard after posting my last video is during the 100 boys versus girls video, I have people corroborating the same story that the camera guy who gave the girls a drone was making some girls feel uncomfortable. You trap these girls in a circle and make them sleep on rough turf and get them high on paint fumes, and then you try to f them.
Okay, that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Anyway.
Sorry, horrifying. Alicia's scared. Alicia. Bitch, it feels like I'm playing Five Nights at Freddy's because there's freaky ass motherfuckers walking around this place. Jumping out of nowhere, walking into the rooms. Fuck you. What is happening? I don't like it. I'm making jokes because I feel uncomfortable. Alicia's going to continue to make jokes during very serious topics because I, when I get uncomfortable, make jokes. I want to make sure I let that be known very early on in this video because it's a coping mechanism. All right, cool. Okay, glad we talked about this early on.
Anyway, so that will be part 3. So, MrBeast, do with that information what you will. I know Chucky didn't want to respond to those allegations. So anyway, my interview with Jake Weddle, I chose to interview him because I thought he was perfect because he was both on camera and behind the scenes in 2019 and 2020.
I'm gonna be so real with you. I only know Jake the Viking. You know that big ass dude, but it was like MrBeast videos earlier on? I put his hand on cars and shit. I know that guy. I don't know who Jake Weddle is, though.
And also, what people don't know is that he came back in 2021.
Sorry, know of them. Don't know them personally. I know of them. I hope that's implied for everybody in MrBeast. Listen, I'm just a fucking VTuber. What the fuck do I know?
Contestant of a MrBeast video, which never got uploaded because it went very badly. He also knows about another portable document format who was working at MrBeast while actually on the registry. And I'll get
You got motherfucking pedos working in a company that no, your target audience and your age demographic is kids. What do you mean? What do you mean you have a registered offender? Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Video. So I got his DM, drove straight to New York overnight, did not sleep, just drank a bunch of caffeine. And I also only had one microphone in the interview, which he's wearing. So it's mostly just him talking. Also, like, final thing, people said my last video started slow. This video also starts slow. It builds up over time. But I'll do the retention thing and say, the ending will blow your mind. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Jake Weddle, everybody.
I'm Jake Weddle.
Bestie, I'm gonna be so real with you. Your last video was fantastic. You did a great job. And I yap a lot, so my version of it, I added 3 extra hours. So don't worry. If you think you yap, bestie, I don't shut the fuck up. You're doing great. And honestly, it's amazing to see somebody who's putting this much effort into trying to show corruption, especially in places such as a large content creator like MrBeast, allegedly. Again, everything I say is alleged or satirical because I ain't getting caught lacking. I don't got the money for a lawsuit. So, just remember, all allegations I make are, of course, allegations and therefore not a statement of acceptance of the situation. Thus, because I do not know if there is proof or deniability, I am ill-informed to make a probable statement and could only make ones based off assumptions and allegations. Is it bad if Makma instant... I don't know if you guys have seen this YouTube bot. I mean, this Twitter bot that goes pussy in bio. But I was about to say that at the end of that. That'd be like pussy in bio. And I was about to move on like nothing happened. Because my intrusive thoughts were winning just for fun. And I was like, I gotta explain it, man. I gotta explain it before I make the joke. Because I don't know if you guys know, I don't know if you guys saw this back in the day. Like, it was after one of my surgeries for cancer, and I made a tweet about it. And one of the bots goes pussy in bio, and I was like, listen, Samantha. I quote retweeted. I was like, listen, Samantha, it's not about your pussy right now, it's about mine. I don't. For those guys who don't know, I have uterine cancer. So like, I don't know, man. I'm fucking weird. Anyways, moving on.
Most people who, if you know me from MrBeast, I'm a deep cut. I'm in a few of the videos, sometimes maybe purposefully kept to the shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor a lot of the time. But I've been in some videos. I've worked on a lot of them. I was there from 2019 to 2020, 2021-ish when I came back and did some more. I was there when they were authentic, and then I saw the transition to what I feel like is a company. He's like a TV show now. It went from YouTuber guy with a camera to Amazon. The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy or just you didn't like it, you know, you were the other half. And I consistently was in the half that Jimmy doesn't like me. That's fine. I don't like him either. It's okay. Oh, that feels so good to say. I don't like Jimmy. I hate you so much. He didn't want anyone to...
Okay, man. Can we be honest for like 2 seconds? I know I was tweaking. My model was tweaking because I was tweaking. I was rubbing my eye, which you can't see my hand move up because I leaned back so my hand wouldn't show me going scrubbing my shit. Okay, fuck you. Don't call it out, stupid. Anyways, this guy is going. Yeah, I guess I didn't know. I hate him. I hate him so much. I hate him so much. Like, I feel like if you make allegations against him, you probably shouldn't say how much you hate him right before you go into it, because it seems like you might be vindictive as a angry employee. But also, as a bitch who's over emotional, go off, king. You know what I'm saying? Because like me, eat. Go off, bestie. Speak your shit. Why? I'm a petty bitch. So real, recognize real. I'm not going to judge you that hard for it. But normally, you don't want to like belittle the person you're about to go in on about situations, because it can also seem like you're like a disgruntled ex-employee. But also, eat, bitch. I love that for you. Because I am also like that.
Get more popular or have more of a way out necessarily. Like, oh, I'm doing
his anger is earned.
Don't do that.
I assume so. I just don't know the situation yet to know.
And I could tell that the yes men were, you know, doing well, and I was, you know, disgruntled for quite some time. So I've talked to reporters, right, like publicly, and I've always had to choose my words very, very carefully because I don't want to say anything I don't stand behind, obviously. So I used to talk to people. I used to glaze Jimmy publicly for things I do genuinely think are true. But then it's like, well, how come you didn't talk about the working conditions? Well, I wanted a career. I didn't want to, you know, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy and then I'm blacklisted forever. I tell people...
I was about to talk about that. Blacklisting is such a prevalent thing, especially in the creator space. I myself have made... people would call it a misstep. I personally wouldn't. I won't go too much into detail because I don't want it to resurface. I was very against a content creator that was in a friend group I got invited to, who are all way more significantly popular than I am. And because I was like, hey, this person allegedly did blah, 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 I don't feel comfortable collabing with them. It denied me an opportunity and then got me kicked from Twitch Rivals because I was seen as a problem. And it's the reason why I'm continuously not in Twitch Rivals anymore, because I have burned myself from that side of the community now, because I felt like, and sure, some people are going to be like, yeah, it's allegations though, you don't know if it actually happened. All I asked was like, hey, I feel uncomfortable. Did you switch me onto a different team? That's all I asked for, right? And I felt uncomfortable collabing with the person because I thought they were shady. And I lost a big career opportunity because of it. I lost other aspects and people who are becoming acquaintances with me because of it. And I don't really want it to resurface, to be honest with you. That's why I'm not really dropping names. Because I just don't want to get pulled into shit anymore. I'm tired. And being blacklisted fucking sucks. It's one of the reasons why you don't see me collabing with a lot of people besides my friends, because I'm tired and I'm older now and I don't want to deal with like shitty people. And I like there's always allegations coming out now against people because some people are fucking garbage. And you know, I feel like when it comes to larger creators, especially the ones who I was somewhat involved with and then not involved with very quickly, they all have each other's backs. And it was really gross to see. And then a few years later, like about 2 years later, the guy got outed. And they all acted like after that they were like, oh my God, we stand with women. We never would have allowed this if we knew. And I'm like, you did know. You all fucking knew. And that's something that pissed me the fuck off because I got blacklisted for trying to like talk about it. And then it came out publicly and they all acted like they were about it. And I'm like, cool. Now I can't interact with any of that shit now because I cared. And it's like, okay, fuck that. I'm done with this. Like, I don't want to deal with any of it. That's the reason why I'm very independent. By the way, I want to specify this is not about a VTuber. I know sometimes people instantly jump to VTuber category for me. It's not. This is a flesh tuber. It's a person. And it's a well-known group of content creators. And it was very disappointing for me to not be put in Twitch Rivals after that. So, just, it's shit. And I feel like people often take the moral standing when it's good brownie points for their career, but won't take the moral standing when it matters. And that pisses me the fuck off. So, I don't know. I don't trust a lot of content creators now because of it. Again, I don't really care morally what other people do. At the end of the day, other people's morals are their own. If they do something fucked up, I don't really care that much unless it's a crime. But I care about who I interact with. Right? I care about what I do. And if you have an allegation of a fucking crime against you, one that is abusive towards women, and I question it and go, hey, like, what the fuck is going on here? And I get blacklisted? Yeah, man. That's exactly how it works. And him saying, oh, yeah, I got blacklisted for just, like, not being liked that much. I can't talk shit about it. I get it, man. That's what this industry constantly does. And I'm not going to be out here being like, oh, I'm so ethically, like, above everybody for trying to do that. No, man. It feels like shit. You know? Because, yeah, he ended up getting outed. And originally, there was people who were like, okay, well, if you feel that way, why don't you out him? And I'm like, it's not my story to tell. It's the victim's story to tell. And it's such a shit situation. Sorry, I need to talk about this a little bit more. It's a shit situation because I knew the victim. I knew there were technically still allegations, but she didn't want to come out with her story. So I was like, I can't do anything because I can't even say it publicly because it's her life and her story and her safety and her entitlement. So I had to like just bring it up and they all fucking knew there's allegations. Some of them knew it fucking happened and it just didn't matter. Anyways, that's all I have to say about it because again, that's her life and I don't want to fucking affect her. I don't want this shit to get dragged up again, but it's just getting blacklisted in the industry is dog shit. So again, there was people who were mad at me initially too back then for not speaking out, but I'm like, you can't do it if the victim doesn't want to talk about it, man. It's not about you. It's not even about the person who did it. It's about what the victim wants because they need to feel in control of the situation. So it is what it is.
Don't, what are you doing? You're gonna kill your career. It's like, I have to or I'll be sad. If this is the moment, we're gonna talk about it. So as far as that, that's my covering up of why we didn't talk about XYZ sooner, but now you know.
What would you say is the fakest video that you worked on while you were there?
Fakest video that I worked on while I was there. This is the extent of the fakeness that I was involved to. This is like admitting to my complicity. I was a writer there, and we were working on a video, crushing my friend's car with a rock or meteor or something. It was a rock or a meteor in the title of it. I can't remember, but he wanted to do a prank where, unbeknownst to the person, he takes a rock, crushes their car, and they're supposed to think a rock came out of space.
We're gonna take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car. Both of them have no idea that we're doing this. Weddle and Marcus are probably shocked.
Okay, well, he was in the writing room, so he knows what's happening.
That was the one and only time I had to, huh? My car? What? And on the fly, I saw him, because Marcus was in that video. So Marcus is calling his mom. Marcus genuinely had no idea. He genuinely had no idea. But, so Marcus is calling his mom, and his mom's freaking out. And I'm like, oh no, they're gonna call my mom next. So I had to text my mom, who had to beg to get the title very quickly. Now I'm texting my mom, I go, Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised. And then I hit send, and then they go, call your mom now. And I call my mom and I tell her, and oh, she should have got the Oscar.
Oh, she sold it. Good for her. Good for your mom.
I'm on vacation. Mom, my car has been destroyed.
Wait, what?
A meteor hit it.
Jacob, I'm on vacation. Do you understand?
Yeah, I did that video, and they were supposed to give me 10K.
That's adorable.
On a new car, and they wanted me to get like a big flashy new car. 10K was supposed to be a down payment, and I can't afford a big flashy new car because I work at MrBeast. So I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the taxes on. I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the insurance on. So I do my part of the video, and I get a mom van that I could afford. And Jimmy was like, "Why didn't you get a cooler car?" I was like, I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? You know, if I was working on a TV show in the 90s, on a show that was a quarter as successful, I could retire today. But now I make dog shit pay, making gajillionaires more money. And
my young lad is stuck in the corporate cycle. No. Yeah.
I just walked into the writer's room, and that's one of the reasons why I left, was because I just walked in there and asked for not necessarily a gajillion dollars, but maybe a salary that was more proportional to the work I was doing, given how much revenue that work was doing. And then, you know, I talked about that, and I talked about the Writers Guild and how this is what Writers Guild industry standard is for the streaming internet content with ads. I thought that was the closest thing to YouTube, and I didn't even bring up residuals, because oh my god, if I got residuals for every video I worked on, boy howdy, I could retire. But yeah, the last.
Oh, it's so sad.
There was another writer there, older comic, black guy. He had a kid. And I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job. And 20-year-old.
No, I was. Yep, doing the exact same job. Yep. When Alicia did commentary, she made 1/3 of her co-part white man commentator. She found out and called that shit out so fucking fast, man. I want you to know that one time I commentated in particular. You guys ready for this fucking story? So I used to be a professional commentator in esports before I retired to go onto YouTube, right? Which is probably why you guys are like, oh shit, that's why you talk the way you do. Yeah, I used to be a professional commentator. So, back in the fucking day, as I made it into the big leagues, when I became a very credible commentator, there was a new guy, right, who came up, which is awesome. I love new talent, who got paid more than me. And because we're not supposed to talk about our pay out of common courtesy, they didn't think I'd find out. And I was like, what the fuck? So I went straight up to them and I was like, hey, what the fuck is going on? And they're like, oh, yeah, you know, like we knew you were going to be coming out here. I was like, no. I was like, listen, I have more work experience. I've been doing this for longer. You couldn't do it if I walked, you couldn't do it without me. That's the reality. Because that guy has zero experience compared to me. He doesn't even have a fraction of my experience. He's less likable than I am. Good luck. Right? And instead of explicitly saying I'll walk, I said it like that. Which the implication is there. And they switched up very quickly. Right? But they didn't know I knew the exact amount he was getting paid. So they gave me a second offer that was still less than him. And then I just hit him with the reality of the situation. I was like, is it because I'm a woman or is it because I'm dark? Because you got to pick one now. Because I don't know what I'm giving you that's less. And that's when, Alicia, we would never. Right, but you are. It's not a never situation. You are. So what is it? Right? Anyways, they paid me more than him after that. And wasn't blacklisted after that either. Because I told them, I was like, I will make this very public if this continues to happen to me. And I said, I will make it very public if I no longer get positions anymore because of the situation. And that's just the reality. And I don't really call it, like, I wouldn't really call it a threat or anything. I just call it the reality of the situation. I will speak aloud about the experience that I'm going through unless you fix it. Another experience, which my fiance can tell you about this one actually. Him and I weren't together back then. Him and I were just best friends back in the day. I lost my shit at some executives in a very thug-like way. Alicia brought a little bit of the hood out because I was at a tournament. Do I want to say which tournament? Do I want to say which tournament? I'm like 50-50. My channel's large enough that if I say it, I might get in trouble. But I also want to say it because I'm a bad bitch. Okay, just know, one of my very important tournaments for my career, and if you look at my in-tournament commentary list, you would probably figure it out a little bit quickly, at least from one of the top 3 that I've done, had a situation where I noticed that all the matches they were going to put on stage for camera had no black people in it. And you might be like, oh, well, maybe there's less black competitors. No, actually. Did you know at this tournament, 17 of the top 30 competitors were black? So not putting them on stage and on camera is you actively choosing to not fucking do it. So I'm like, you're a majority, right? So, Alicia, in her fine wisdom, goes, what the fuck is this? When I see the list, right? Because, like, as a commentator, you get, like, a list of, like, matches coming up, of, like, what the tournament bracket looks like, and which matches are circled, so you know which ones are, like, highlighted to go on deck, and, like, all the stuff is set into your earpiece as well while you're commentating, so you, like, know what's happening, right? So before we even start, I see this list, and I'm like, what the fuck? Right? And I instantly go over to, like, one of, like, the higher people. I don't want to give names. I don't want to give positions because it'll just definitely narrow down exactly who and what. And I think that's inappropriate of me to do that, especially after what I did, which you'll see soon. This is not my proudest moment. I definitely could have handled this with more decorum. Not my proudest moment. I say this with a smile, though, because I definitely did feel like a bad bitch. And I was like, hey, what's going on? Can you put blah, blah, blah on stage? Named off a few black competitors who are some of the strongest ones that we have in this scene. And they're like, oh, sorry, we already determined it. And I was like, all right, who else is there? Who else can I talk to? And they're like, oh, well, they're in a meeting right now, so we can't do that. I'm like, which room's the meeting in? And they're like, oh, somewhere's out back. Perfect. I walked back. And I just started looking into each room until I found the room they're having a meeting in, and I walked in. And I was like, hey, what's going on with this? And I explained to them the situation. And they're like, oh, we just chose the ones we thought people would be the most interested in. And I'm like, that's not true. These players in particular come from very strong scenes that are a very large viewer base that we have. What's your reason? Right? More semantics. I'm like, are you telling me you know more about the demographic of this game than I do? And they're like, well, it's based off of our metrics. I'm like, what metrics do you have? I want to see them. And they're like, well, we don't have it on hand. And that's when I started to fucking boil. Because you made the decision now. The decision you made was now. So if you don't have the metrics on hand, that means you made it without anything backing it. You're just saying it to lie to my face, right? I didn't say that aloud, though. I said, put niggas on stage or I walk. That's all I said. That's the only time I've ever fully threatened to walk and said the words, I will walk, was that moment. And what did they do? They slid me the tournament bracket, and they circle which games you want us to feature on stream. And I circled which matches I wanted on stream. And I circled white people, I circled Asian people, I circled black people, and I didn't do it based off of skin tone. I did it based off of fucking talent. Like it should be. You show talent on stage, or people who are charismatic and funny to make good moments. Race shouldn't fucking matter. Talent should matter. Charisma should matter. What makes the best television should matter. I don't give a shit if it's a bunch of white people because they're better players. Sure, man, go for it. But you had too many talented people of color that you just didn't put on stage. So I circled the fuck out of the ones I knew would make the best. And there you go. And I had a great time commentating. I was smiling ear to ear, making jokes, and I felt so much joy. And maybe I could have handled it in a classier way. It doesn't make for a good story to tell now that I'm retired. Yes. Was I proud of it back when I did it? I felt good. I also felt a little bit of shame because I was like, ooh, I should have probably handled that in a classier way. But I'm retired now. Now I just do YouTube. So it's whatever. Anyways, that's a little bit more about my backstory.
Fucking white guy, why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up. And one of the things I didn't like about the way some of the V stuff shook out was...
Oh, shit.
I feel really guilty about the way this like shook out.
What happened to the other guy? Was just
I was talking to this other
guilt.
like it's fucked up, you know, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, you know, because you deserve to get paid more. You know, I don't have a kid.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just I like my
He's
dad,
got a kid to think
know,
about. Yeah, he of course doesn't want to rock the boat.
When you grow up with nothing, not to say that he did, but I know I did. You know, you get a little something, you don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to rock the boat. But he said, "Hey man, if that's how you feel, you know, like if that's like, I trust you." He stood with me. He went in that meeting with me, and I said my piece, and he backed me up.
Oh no, he's crying because he got him fired, didn't he?
Out of here. And they said bet, and they gave me a severance check the next day, and they gave him a severance check the next day.
No, he has a kid.
If I knew he was gonna lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it.
Oh my god. Oh, that's so fucked. Oh, because he feels guilt for what the company fucking did, though. It's not even you, man. It's not even you. Oh.
Me, I was over the moon. I was like, you're gonna give me a check and I get to leave? You know, I don't get to deal with the yeah, how many Orbeez can I fit up my asshole every day, you know? And I get to go home and you're gonna pay me to leave. I was over the moon. And he was devastated.
Oh my god.
He did not want. I said he just wanted to be in the room, you know? And I really regret that. But, you know, me and him, we're really still tight. We're still good friends.
Is he doing good?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good guy. I love that guy. He's doing good. Kinda. Yeah.
So maybe you feel better?
Honestly, best thing I could have done for him. Now that he's very, very far removed from all this crazy shit, I guess.
Do
Yeah.
you think Jimmy really enjoys doing good and helping people?
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal.
Fuck, that is... It's fucked up because he shouldn't feel the guilt of that situation. That's on the company that affected you that way, you know? But at the same time, it's like, oh man. I'm glad that we get to know the fact, like the aftermath that the guy's okay. But fuck, man, the fact that he has a kid and that, oh my god. Oh my god.
And I think whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do. And I think it was the smartest decision for him that he calculated, because he's very good with numbers. If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy?
Oh no. Oh, that's what... Dude, think about, like, be real, right? Before all this came out, be real with yourself, right? Think about the times where we have agreed as a community. Like, MrBeast built 100 fucking wells. That's amazing. I don't give a shit if he fakes a video here and there. He built 100 wells. Like he's doing good, you know? And like that's what I associated with. But I didn't realize he was fucking people over. Do you know what I mean? I thought that like, oh, whatever, he faked a video where he was underground for 72 hours. I don't really care. Right? That's the mentality I had. Because he was doing so much good for people. And it's like, but you weren't. You were hurting those even within your own company. And then in the previous video, you fucking lied and you rigged the odds and, you know, got kids into gambling allegedly for all these things, of course, because I ain't trying to get sued. Allegedly. Right? And it's like the buildup of all this is like, it really shatters your view of him. And I'm not going to be the kind of person who acts like I'm mightier than thou, who knew the whole time and understood what the process. No, dude, I had no fucking clue. I really gave him the benefit of the doubt because of how much good I thought he was doing. You know? And, you know, you guys are right. Like, just because you do good things doesn't mean you can't do bad things. You can do, yeah, they're not mutually exclusive. You can do like bad things and also good things. But it's really sad to see the dark side and the underbelly of what's been going on. Jacksepticeye was right. What the fuck did Jacksepticeye say? What the fuck did Jacksepticeye say? What did he say? What are you saying, Chatter?
But I've always thought, if you're going to do something nice for somebody and you stick a camera in their face while you do it, that you didn't do a nice thing for somebody.
He said MrBeast ruined YouTube like a year ago. You know what, man? Jacksepticeye says based as fuck. You ever watch his short film he did about like his depression and like that silent short film he did, like the cycle of his life and everything? It was really powerful. It's really beautiful. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth checking out. Yeah, haven't seen that short film? It's really good. It's worth it. It's just a silent short film he made, and you get to like really experience like the isolation of what being a YouTuber is and his like experience and kind of like the depression cycle you end up going into. And yeah, and it's just, I feel like it expresses so much of like exactly the feelings that kind of you don't get to see when you have like a YouTuber who has a very happy perception or demeanor, and like what is on the other side of it all. And without it being over dramatized, just it being real as fuck, just him like laying down, going through his routine, and like, yeah, I think it's a really strong piece.
You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street and you saw an opportunity for yourself and your image, and you gave one guy $10,000 who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video is way more than what you gave. I think when he's generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world. There's an element of, you know, oh, hey, you're crying. That's so good for camera. You know, I'm so glad if you're crying because you're so thankful that you got XYZ, and then you go, oh, I'm so glad he needed it that bad so I could come in and, oh, can you cry more? Oh, it's so good for the camera if you could. Oh, it made me uncomfortable when I was working there.
This is why Alicia's proud that she doesn't cry at donations. She cries at you guys saying nice shit. Instead, I insult you about donations. Aha! Because it would feel weird if you threw money at me and I started crying. That would feel cringe. Like you make me cry for money. Okay, crying through anime is a different fucking story, bitches, alright? That's being moved through media. I feel emotionally invested, and I'm an empathetic ass bitch who cries to cartoons. Shut the fuck up. It's different. Alright?
And I didn't like it, and I vocalized it sometimes, and I think that's why I wasn't on camera as much as they said I was going to be. I was told at one point that I was going to be like fourth banana, you know, it was going to be Jimmy, Chris, Chandler, me, you know, and then that never happened. I remember talking about that, like, hey, I thought my contract said XYZ. And then I got the severance checks, so, you know, whatever, all that regard.
Shut up, Minuski.
So after your severance checks, how was your relationship with the company? I know you appeared in videos after that, right?
Right, so in videos where I was appearing in later, that's why you keep nice publicly. If you're nice in public,
oh,
hey, Jake was nice in public, let's have him back for something. You know, yeah, sure. So I was hoping they'd call back.
Even after the severance, he still was able to maintain, yep.
Some videos after I left, I think one of them was 3 days in a maximum security prison. If I did do mini challenges in that, I got paid. I was, clocked in with a rate, and I would get paid and compensated for those. But there was one video I was in. I got paid a lot for it, but it didn't come out. It didn't.
You got paid a lot and it didn't come out?
There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary, or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, "What? You shouldn't do that." And people don't know that was the second attempt.
Oh, I was like, was that you? I was so confused because I remember that video ended with the guy proposing to his girlfriend. And I was like, that was you? You guys don't look the same. But that was the second attempt. This guy was the first attempt of them trying? What?
The first attempt was on me. And
oh, no. Oh shit, Buddy's traumatized.
I was already planning on moving to New York, and I had worked at a couple of YouTube companies after Beast, and I had a little bit of change in my pocket. The most change I had in my pocket ever. Small potatoes, compared to Beast bullshit. But I thought I had enough to move to New York or whatever. And I get a call from somebody over there, and they go, "Hey, they want you for a video." I was like, "Oh, amazing, great, cool, thank God."
Oh no! Oh no!
And they tell me the pitch.
Dude, the thing I'm saying oh no about is the fact that it never aired. Like whatever happened in that video didn't air. They had to do a second attempt with a different person because whatever happened in his video just didn't go well. That's what I'm saying oh no about. Isn't that fucking scary? Did you spend thousands of dollars on a video and then you trash it and redo it with somebody else because it went that fucking bad?
They try to make the pitch sound like it's going to be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement. But don't worry, like you only have to last like 30. We have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's going to be like a luxury vacation. You're going to have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine. And like part of the video is going to be you deciding like what items am I going to get rid of, today? And it's like the choice. They were like, it's only going to be bad for maybe the last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first, it's going to be like a breeze for most of it. And by the end of it, after 30 days, you're going to get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day. And I don't know, man. I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure.
Yeah.
They were like, you're going to be locked in this room, and we got to make sure you're on all the time. We're going to have cameras on you all the time, and you're perfect for this because you never shut the fuck up.
Vibe, bestie. Vibes.
And they always cut me out of the videos. They always, and I was, editors have told me that it's because you have too much of a personality. And so with this video, I thought, this is perfect. It's a video they can't cut me out of. I'm the guy. And so I thought, well, if I
also trash the whole fucking video, goddamn.
If I have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that. That I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last ride. And I get there. And at first it's fine. And they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, which that's probably not good. The smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time.
Yeah.
It looked good on the visual. Like it looks good on camera. It's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility. It was in one of the studios. They had to get a separate tank for septic stuff. Yeah, there was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Things were cool and funny on paper, but when you think about stuff,
okay,
a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system.
Oh, it's gonna get dirty.
It's gonna stink.
Yeah.
There's not a hot water mechanism, so the hot tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which was a silly complaint. But the shower was always cold, and you're taking a quick shower. And I had cameras 24/7 on me, and the ice cream machine. Let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes: on, and off, reeking of smelly dairy mildew. So I got to choose which.
Oh my god. Oh my god. fuck were they? They have no one who is like a health and safety person. You're throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars away and you can't hire one person for health and safety. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Which sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good. So the little things started to build up. You know, there was like the bug thing wasn't like terrible, but it was a factor. And like at first it was fine.
Oh,
you know,
no.
You're
Yeah,
playing it
man,
up,
they are.
It's a video, and it got to a point where like they weren't turning the lights off. You know, I asked them. I said, can we like have like nighttime hours? You know, and they said no because it would fuck up the time lapse shots. The time lapse of what? Me sleeping or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did like, oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Want to know how they figured that one out? I didn't have it. You know, one of the things was you got to take away your clock.
Are they allowed to do that to him? Does his waiver sign away his right to exist? Like, what the fuck? Are they, like, what are they doing to him?
So you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, like, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and I have insomnia problems now. But they might have started there.
He said no waivers were signed? Sue! Motherfucker, sue them! There was no waiver! Buddy, you're good! Buddy, they're culpable! Please!
Looking out for me. I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this, we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists.
Yes, the United Nations considers sleep deprivation to be a form of torture and a war crime under the Geneva Conventions and the UN Torture Convention. The UN defines torture as any physical or mental pain or suffering, and sleep deprivation causes serious physical and mental harm. It's also prohibited by international law as cruel, inhumane, or degrading. Sorry, my YouTube HUD is kind of blocking the rest. I think it says treatment of detained. I'm not really sure what the last word says, just because it's covered by the little icons here at the bottom. Oh, detainees. There we go.
Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. So, you know,
I can't imagine the lasting effects this has on him. You know. Jesus Christ, man. That's so fucked.
Me, you know, melatonin, you know, it's not helping, you know.
Here we go. Yeah, he's talking about it.
Come in, like, every other day for like an hour, you know, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. You know, I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute. And so he'd come by, he'd get the shots, he'd leave. Sometimes he'd have a note with the director over the phone. That would really piss me off. This is a note I got from the director, from Jimmy, when I'm receiving some cash. He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans?
Oh, imagine torturing someone and saying that. You know, the last video, I talked about the other contestant in the very end of the last video we did, like, reacting to this, where he was given $1 million to spend, right, in 24 hours or whatever. And I was like, hey, you could use that to pay off his debts, right? That guy wasn't put through this. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Like, you're torturing this guy. Literally. Right? And he's trying to have copium through it, dude. Like, so he's like, well, there's a shower, but it was cold. And, like, there was blah, 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 but it was this. Like, he's trying to, like, a part of him's trying to, like, ease the thought of it all. But fuck. fuck. They put him. And then I want you to know something especially about this is that humans are social creatures. No matter how much you're an introvert and you like to recharge your battery alone, we crave social interaction. And sometimes that's in the form of watching media. Sometimes you'll feel like your social interaction is watching a YouTuber or a streamer or things like that, even if you don't physically talk to other people. That is a huge part of your mental health, whether you believe it or not. It is, right? And for people who are isolated, that's why they tend to watch people speaking or videos more often than others, because they crave the social interaction without actually physically having it. And when you put someone in isolation like that, where they aren't able to be a social creature, you're fucking ruining them. You're ruining them, right? And this has long-term repercussions. Like there's just no way you can't. There's no way you can't feel bad for this guy, man. This is just.
You know how hard it was to do a take of that? And pretend to make it genuine? I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage. But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says, he'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it. I needed it, of course.
And that's the thing.
About, like,
he's throwing such large amounts of money at you that he's literally like, dance, you lower human being. Your pain and suffering will earn you these doubloons. Take my wealth and riches for your suffering. Yes. Like, what the fuck is this? What are we doing here?
Like, having the cameras on me all the time. Like, I was not having a good time, but we were filming a video, so I was trying my best to be funny. You know, I'm a dark comic. You know, I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life. I have my dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor. You know, so this kind of stuff is very near to my heart.
That come from?
Around with this shit.
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
I have jokes about that in my act. You know, I joke about it because that's
okay.
a traumatic experience. No, abusive.
Finding humor in dark parts of your life is.
I do a type file about it.
A very real thing.
So I'm in this situation where my mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse, but we're filming, so I'm doing bits. I'm talking to the camera, and I'm being, you know, like, hey, it's been a couple days. I'm not.
Humor is a really great way for a lot of people. Not a great way, but it's a way for people to process. And I myself love to use humor to de-escalate a situation to make myself more comfortable. And him using humor to go through what he experienced and in order to talk about like his own traumatic issues involving his family is extremely valid. And I just want to say that very quickly. You're going to meet people in your life who make dark jokes about their own lives and experiences that they've had. And though you might not do it yourself, which is totally fine, it's just important to understand that other people have different ways of like working through what they went through, you know? And not necessarily good, but it's common. Exactly. I mean, well, technically there's no such thing as like, like good trauma, you know? You kind of just do what you can. Trauma is trauma. You kind of just have to push through and see what kind of sticks to help you into like the next phase of your life. And sometimes we form unhealthy habits. Sometimes we form better habits. And sometimes humor might be a healthier option than a lot of the other ones. And you do what you can.
Not doing so hot, you know, which if I'm filming a video, that's what I should be doing for the camera, but it was too real. If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one? You know, if we're allowed to let these cast members have some time off of this difficult challenge, how come we couldn't turn the lights off? How come we couldn't maybe not have some time lapse footage for 10 seconds?
Did you try to get out?
Yes. I was starting to calculate. I don't know if I could do 30. How much can I? Well, how can I manage to get out of here sooner, and still have a video and still have some cash and get the plug, man. I did. since we're doing time-lapse shots, and since they insisted on time-lapse shots, I said, all right, we're gonna do time-lapse shots bet. I put my YouTube on with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You know, you got that whiteboard. Oh no, either that goes in or this footage is unusable, and then, you know,
The footage is not actually
came in and erased it, you know, fucking, you know, don't put that, hey, we can torture him, don't you dare let him get a plug in there, you know?
Oh my fuck.
Like, we were playing.
Link to the description will be Jake Weddle's YouTube as well. I just want to put that. The original video, this video, and Jake Weddle's YouTube, or at least one of his videos indirectly. I mean, I might pick one of his videos from his channel and link it directly. Because he deserves his plug. He fucking deserves his plug. And this is... Man, this is shit. I know it's heavy, man. I know we got a heavy one today. This is very... You know... And shit's probably gonna get rockier because we're like only halfway through. But it's also very humanizing to hear about the experiences of people directly, especially when it comes to like allegations. A lot of the time we hear about things in passing and we'll feel like it's drama, which is why I talked about this, even when I did my intro to this video, right? Where it's like, really think about it, right? This is not YouTube drama. This is YouTube fucking crimes, allegedly, right? That's the reason why it's like, me personally, I don't really care about covering YouTuber beef. I don't care enough about that, but I do care about stuff like this. I do care about crimes being committed allegedly, right? I ain't trying to get sued by MrBeast. He has fuck you money. I ain't trying to deal with that.
Playing up the joke, you know, it's like, I'm the boy in the cage, you know, whatever. Like, I'll play into a joke, whatever, it's fine. It's just something weird about when Jimmy jokes. I have jokes about my dad.
So you would erase the... Okay, so to explain the reasoning behind erasing the plug, like content creator perspective, is because it would cause people to click out of the video to go look up his channel because they see it on the wall. And that takes away from your watch time and current watch time consumed for channel views, which are two different metrics. The moment someone clicks off of your channel to look at something else, it resets that meter for channel viewership. So it's intentional. I understand why they did that from that standpoint, but you're fucking torturing the guy, so I don't really give you any leeway for it. That's the reasoning behind it, if you're wondering why. It's just fucked up. It's fucked up. I mean, that's the reason why I like to plug videos at the beginning of my video. So if you want to click off to go watch the original, W. That's why I usually tell you guys before we even start the video. Because I'm totally fine with you guys clicking off to watch the original, because supporting the original creators that I react to is always one of my biggest priorities. That's the reason why I never react to something as soon as it comes out. I usually wait at least 2 days, usually 2 to 3 days. So I never fuck with someone's algorithm, unless it's a corporation who makes something. If it's an independent creator, then I usually wait 2 to 3 days. Sometimes I wait longer than that if I see their algorithms getting blocked up by other reactors. Just because it's important for them to get supported, right? And reaction content, what I do, is not something that's extremely high effort, like them taking the time to edit and do their videos. I'm not going to bullshit you. So it's important to make sure that you respect them and respect their viewership. Hell of a Boss is considered a corporation. Like that is a development studio. So it's like, it's important to understand the difference between individual creators who you wait for, right? So yeah, that's like my big thing when it comes to all that. And again, I think when it comes to videos like this though, especially when it comes to ones about like YouTuber crimes, I might address those more quickly within the 24 hours that they come out more often now. Just because I think, not because like, oh, the drama bait, but more so that I think it's important, especially someone like me who's a very positive person, to use my platform to talk about something that's meaningful to me. And this stuff is meaningful to me. I think the more that you shun away from that and only act positive and create like this toxic positivity environment, the more unrealistic you are. And it's fine if, by the way, if you don't want to, I post 2 videos every single day. You don't need to watch my videos covering YouTuber crimes. All right. I always have other videos going on the channel 24/7. I upload 5 videos a day, 3 on the other one, 2 on this one. Right. So you don't have to watch the ones when I cover crimes. But for me personally, I think this is something I care about. And I do want to keep covering YouTuber crimes and shit going on because it matters to me, especially as I work in this space.
Because I love jokes with my dad. I'll joke with my dad all the time. That guy's a piece of shit. I hate my dad. But I have friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine, because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. When Jimmy joked with my dad, and I said that to seem weird. I don't like it. We were doing that, one of those hide and seek videos. Again, you know, at the time, they were a lot realer. So I got caught. And when you get caught, you know, you go to the place where you get caught. And I don't know if there's footage of this. I don't know if, you know, I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to me, all right, you're going to jail, you know, like your dad. And like, it's a joke.
Wait, you're going to jail like your dad? He said that to you? What? What? Your employer? In a YouTube video? You're not that dynamic. This was one of your paid writers in your writer room. Well, yeah, at this point might have like left the company, but that's not your friend. You're not close enough to make that fucking joke. What? You know what, man? I'm gonna be real with you. There's times where we all say inappropriate jokes that cross a line, but you gotta have the self-reflection to pull it back after and be like, you know what, man? I crossed the line. I'm sorry. Example being, right? He ain't coma enough. Okay, hold on. All right, for those of you guys who don't know, Coma, before him and I became friends, made a cancer joke about me dying to me. And people had to be like, what the fuck, and check him about it, right? Because him and I did not know each other well enough for him to make that joke to me. This was very soon after my diagnosis. This was like maybe a week after I got diagnosed. Worst time in the world to make a joke about me dying, right? Like, Alicia was in the hospital still in this Discord call when this happened. And, which by the way, for those of you who don't know, Coma's one of my best friends now. And what happened is that, do I hold that against him? Not really, right? It was really fucked up in the moment. I started like tearing up because it hurt me so bad. But what happened is like maybe like an hour later, he like DM'd me and he goes, I'm so sorry for what I said. He goes, I genuinely didn't realize it was bad or even what I said in the moment because I just say stupid shit all the time. And then he just kind of owned up to it. And then he goes, I actually do want to know about how you're doing, what you're going through. Because I feel like me not understanding that is a big issue right now. And he goes, if you want to talk about it, I would love to listen. And that's what started our friendship. And from that point on, we became really tight emotionally, became one of my best friends. And it all started from him making a death joke about me having cancer. So, yeah, man, I don't mind when people cross a line or say something fucked up if they take responsibility and apologize. I have the same feeling towards a lot of YouTubers. There's going to be times where people around you or even you, content creators you like, say something way too fucked up. I'm going to say things that are way too fucked up. That's the reality, right? But it's like understanding when you can own up to what you've done and meaningfully apologize. Like if I make a mistake or if I say something fucked up but I stand by it, I'm not going to fake apologize for something. If I say something and I actually fucked up, I'm like, oh shit, you know what? This actually affected people negatively. Oh shit, I didn't realize like the tonality of what I was doing. Oh, I wasn't educated enough about the topic. And yeah, like we'll have the conversation and say sorry. So, you know, I think it's important to understand those things too. That even if Jimmy made that stupid fucking joke, if he apologized or had a conversation after, you could forgive it. But you can't do something that stupid. And listen, the reason why I also have that is because I'm very understanding that I have friends in my life who are bad at social cues. Right? And some of you might feel that too. Some of you might be bad with social cues and say an inappropriate joke. I don't want you to ever feel like the door is closed for you because you said something inappropriate. But what you need to realize is that what you say affects others, and apologizing for it after the fact does matter. And owning up for what you did, even if you didn't realize how it affected others, is important once you learn how it does. Right? I feel like that's a fair statement.
But when my friends do it, it's fine. And Jimmy just wasn't my friend. He was my boss.
Exactly!
Cool. And so now, I'm locked in a cage at his whim. And I have to do things to get the cash I need. to live. And I got these cameras on all the
Pre-watched.
time. And I was unwell. I had editors coming up to me, saying, "You good, bud?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? You're clearly unwell." And he goes, "Well, because the footage you're sending in is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits." Someone said there is a horror cut of a video in this. And I'm sitting like, who's watching this? Like, who wants to see this? What is fun about this, the video? And so
Nothing.
The thing that made me want to, I got to get out. I can't do another day in a year. Jimmy comes in and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, "Why is he sleeping?" I don't know, because I can't sleep. And he comes in, he wakes me up. And he goes, "Ask me why I have 2 briefcases." And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, "Oh, because this one's for today, you know, and this one's for the challenge." And I go, "What's the challenge today?" He goes, You're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do 22.6K, whatever it is. And you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there."
Did you train? Did he? What? What? Oh, fuck, man. I'm somebody who used to be a runner. Oh, do you know how much prep goes into that? You know how much prep goes into a marathon? Like your shoes, your running stature, everything. Like, there's so many layers. Like, if no one even taught you how to do proper form when running, because there's proper form to have less exertion. Oh, man.
The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube, and I'm dyslexic. I'm dumb. I don't know how to do a Rubik's Cube. So your first challenge, Rubik's Cube. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do it." I was like, "On camera, I don't want to do it." He goes, "Just do it for the thing." My kid, yeah. Like there was an element of, oh, Jake will do what we want because he's in house. You know, that's one of the reasons why they got me. Jake's he's an inside guy, so he'll do whatever.
Oh my god. Oh, it's so bad. It's because they'll treat external people so much better than they'll treat him because they, this is so fucked up.
A little extra hard because we know he's good. I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing. Yeah. So I people who run marathons train forever and it's still hard. Again, writer. Do I look like I run? I don't run, you know, let alone a marathon, let alone that training for it. So I was in a sunlightless, you know.
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or?
Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, like there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, you know. And if I refuse, it's just, oh, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, you know.
Okay. You know what? I know there's gonna be people who are fucking combative about this already, so I'm about to fight these people proactively. If anyone thinks that he could have just said no and walked out of the situation, you have no idea about the real world repercussions for his actions. He would have been blacklisted by everyone. For someone who walked out of a set, out of a production that he didn't finish, when he was the main subject, he wouldn't get work anywhere else. Let alone MrBeast, but he wouldn't get work anywhere else because it would see him as a liability who can just walk out whenever he pleases. Also, it's fucking life-changing money. It's $300,000 and he's a writer. He needs that. And also the pressure of the environment he's in, they've already mentally worn him down. He's been huffing paint fumes, sitting around like rotten, like moldy ice cream machines, and they won't turn off the fucking lights for him to sleep. He can't function. He's in the perfect susceptibility to not be able to say no. You've altered him. You've broken him down to this extent of, like, what do you... Like, his consent is out the fucking window. Oh, any person, by the way, under these conditions, is mentally not in the clear to give consent. He could not, him saying yes to that during the pressure that he was in was not a real yes. But he couldn't say no either. He is fully not able to be there mentally to consent. And this is fucked.
So much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing. And so I wanted to be a good sport and I wanted to get the boost and I wanted the cash. And so I started running at 12. I was able to take some breaks and I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back.
Oh.
And I'm running until 3 a.m. All right, I got off the treadmill. Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe.
Oh my, because the shoes matter too for it. It's like there's so many factors. And then like, oh my God. There's so, like I talked about the shoes in particular, but I'm surprised he didn't pull or rip muscles. You can rip, literally stretch and rip like ligaments from doing this without training, without building your body. Like this is, what the fuck are they thinking?
I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid.
Yeah, the buildup from it.
I
Yeah.
got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. And that's when I get the psych in, and I talk to the psych about how I'm not well, and
Tell me they let you out then.
Like I said, there was a lot of good people over there that was saying, you got to pull him out. Yeah, I had friends that did some freelance work. And they would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, everyone knows you over there. Everybody loves you.
You brought Psych in after he had a breakdown? You didn't have Psych eval regularly? You waited until he broke down to bring in Psych? Holy shit. No. Wait, hold on. Stop. Did you guys watch the second video of them doing the containment? Not his, because they didn't publish his. The one that they actually published. They had Psych show up all the time for him. Did you know that? They did it because of this. Psych showed up all the time for the other guy. Because they drove one man insane. And now they're doing it. Oh my God. Oh my God. He was literally a fucking guinea pig. They just tested him. Jake Weddle. He also has a YouTube channel, chat. Yep.
They go, oh, Jake Weddle, love that guy. Shame what happened to him. Like I'm a ghost. And I asked him, I said, how much longer are you guys going to keep me in here?
Oh my.
And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days? No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. So I just, slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And it's like they brought in all my friends, to make it.
Oh no.
They brought in all the people I liked. And Jimmy. Then everybody was around me making sure I was good, making sure I was okay. Yeah. But Jimmy had his he was sitting in the chair turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God. Everyone was looking at me and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around, he stands up.
How the fuck can we like MrBeast after this? Like, how can you? How can you? This is disgusting. What he's done to this man, God knows what he's done to other people.
He does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video and he's like, oh, stop, you're gonna make me cry. And he touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's just... I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. She says, as if rehearsed by his lawyers. Yeah, you know, your mental health's the most important thing. You know, just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is... I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S. He just stopped right before it got out. I did not get the 300K. What I got, he goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You know, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, you know, 100,000 some change, you know, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. You know.
I'm so happy you got to live out some of your passion with that, but that is so fucked. That is so fucked. There is no compassion. He sees him as just a vehicle for revenue. Oh.
My family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And haven't been back on a Beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then. And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks. And then I'd still gotten some hot water, and I knew it would. And I've wanted to say a lot of this for a long time.
This shattered my view so hard of Jimmy. I mean, last one was already like, the last video we saw was already pretty fucked up. And I was like, oh shit, these are shitty business practices. Whole thing is corrupt. It's shady, blah, blah, blah. This completely pushed me to what in the fuck do we consider one of the top creator on this platform? What the fuck do we consider him? What is this? What is happening right here?
I feel good though. I just had to get that off there.
I'm so proud of him.
And show some text that Jake sent me after this interview. This is July 29, 2021, a few days after he got out of solitary. How are you feeling after a few days? Better. I still couldn't sleep, even a few days out, but I almost have my sleep cycle back on track. My legs and joints are good, but the blisters on my feet still hurt to walk on. Medical advice I got was not to lance them and just let them go away with time. I'm mentally still in an uneasy place, but I've gotten back on better help. My therapist is a little concerned, but we are working on things.
Oh no, Andy got a therapist from BetterHelp. No! My boy can't heal! Fucking Christ!
Supposed to be a traumatic life event. This is supposed to be a MrBeast video. Hey Jake, hope you're doing okay. Meg and I just wanted to check in on you. Hey, I'm good and I appreciate that. I'm not exactly 100%. I feel like mentally I'm still recovering a bit, but back in therapy and my therapist is concerned. Haha, but my legs and joints feel better. Like I can walk, but my feet are still covered on those blisters and those hurt to walk on. But I was told the best thing to do is stay off my feet and let them heal. I'm in Raleigh with my family. Also, it'll be like a month before I get the money and they aren't giving me all the money.
His therapist was good. He got lucky. That's good.
At that point in the game, which was also a slap in the face. But hey, I'm out. I'm alive. Therapist who knows and cares about you.
The fact you have to end it with I'm out. I'm alive as the plus factor of the experience, because that shit literally could have killed him. And the fact that he's mentally like able to push through enough to still be here and be out of that scenario and alive is fucking horrifying. This is insane. This is beyond unethical. This is torturing a human being. You should press charges. And if we're outside the statute of limitations, fucking sue him. Get money. Get some compensation for what you went through. I don't know about the legality of the torture you went through and how you can... Because clearly you have... I'm sure there's people who have still footage of it. MrBeast has the footage of it still. He keeps everything. I'm sure we couldn't subpoena getting it from him. He'd probably delete it fast as fuck because he's sketchy. But I'm sure there's other people who worked there who has some of those files saved on their computers or hard drives still. I'm sure you could find somebody who has it, who has enough footage out there to have something concrete to stand on. But the only issue is you're fighting against MrBeast. He has multi-millions he could spend on lawyers to fight against you. It's so fucked.
Whole thing
It's
was
so
fucked.
fucked.
And honestly, fuck them for not giving you the money. Meg and I are wishing you the best with your recovery, and please feel free to reach out if you need anyone to talk to or need a place to crash in New York. Hope you're doing well, man. That video you uploaded is money. So good. I appreciate. I'm doing better physically. Mentally, I'm still kind of in a place. I still can't sleep. I've slept 5 hours in the past 3 days. Marathon.
Look at the timestamps. Look at the timestamps. Look, July 30th. Oh, this is also okay. Hold on.
I'm doing better physically. Mentally, I'm still kind of in a place. I still can't sleep. I've slept 5 hours in the past 3 days. Marathon.
Oh my god. So that means, hold on. So 5 days, hold on. So this is 27th. 5 days, and then an extra 3 days later, he's still like having issues sleeping. Like, how long does this go on for? Like, what?
Place. I still can't sleep. I've slept 5 hours in the past 3 days, marathon included. I don't know what's wrong with me. Lots of thinking, too much, one might say. Hope they're taking care of you where
Bro,
they
the
can.
moment I see in
I
August,
was kind of shocked.
I'm gonna lose my
For the
shit.
full 25, 30 days, they paid me what I made up to that point. Like, even when we have to pull the plug for my mental health, the mechanism of the game is still at play. I'm just happy to be out. I still can't walk well, but it hurts less. And like, I'm not famous enough to burn a bridge. So at the end of the day, I'm still Jimmy's bitch. Like, if I was Carl and he did that to me, I'd ruin him. And they want to do it again. That could be your leverage. If the guy breaks down also, 2 is better than 1. Yeah, right. I told them everything they did to me that they can't.
Oh my god, that's so true. Fucking Clout Olympics. Because if you have enough clout, you can actually get something done about it. But since you don't, people will just see you as somebody clawing your way for relevancy or some bullshit like that. It is so fucked up. And there's gonna be stupid people out there like, why is he only saying it now after all this time? He couldn't, man. Do you know how many people would eat him alive? MrBeast, the guy who builds wells and saves the world? Dude. And then you told me he's fucking torturing people? I would have had a hard time believing you. Until all this shit came out. And now I'm like, oh my god, you are totally right. Oh my god. I believe you. I get it. I get it. I understand why you waited for this. Because my god. And also, it's very hard to imagine a YouTuber who tortures people and is the most popular YouTuber on the platform. So yeah. Holy shit.
Can't do again in order to make sure the other person doesn't break down as fast. But like, the way the video is meant to function is the problem. It's a bad idea, full stop. It sounds clickbaity, sounds right up Jimmy's alley, but it's morally unethical like on every level. Off-camera breaks, lights off at night, visitation, take the marathon out. Marathon is a video in itself. You can't expect someone to exert themselves like that for 45 seconds of content. The challenges really made it feel dehumanizing, felt like a parody of MrBeast. I felt like the homeless guy they could exploit. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. Part of me wants the footage burned and part of me thinks that there's a great horror cut in there. LMAO, he was so fake when he came in and said he cared about my mental health. They must have programmed the care about mental health updates. He said, we also don't want you to, and I swear to our Lord and Savior, he stopped himself from saying sue. Also, as far as like, he could have said no, he could have left at any.
Oh my god. This is...
Anytime. I want to show this segment from an internal document at MrBeast called How to Succeed in MrBeast Production. Specifically on page 19, there's a paragraph called No does not mean no.
Ah!
Insane.
What in the? Why would you title that? What? Huh? Excuse you? You call that your work ethic document title? What is that? Here at MrBeast, we don't call it a rape culture. We call it a work culture. What the fuck is this?
Because it's sort of, it seems to be co-opting the popular anti-rape slogan.
Yep.
Which is a terrible look given the allegations that are going to be coming out very soon. It reads, when dealing with people outside MrBeast Productions, never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you can call the local Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees and see if they are fans or if any have kids that are fans. Try talking to their boss's boss. Have me DM them on Twitter and try their social team. If all avenues are exhausted and you are left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees because the manager of those could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Basically what I'm trying to convey is what we call pushing through no. Don't stop because one person told you no. Stop when all conceivable options are exhausted.
This is deranged. This is a man with zero morality. This is fucking psych. How can you type this, have it approved by somebody else, and then send this within your company? How? How? How?
This is one of many tools that when combined dramatically improve your probability of success when producing here. So yeah, this idea of like pushing through no's is a big component to working at MrBeast. And the way that it manifests itself a lot of the time is like a director might tell a producer, hey, we need access to 30 acres of farmland by Tuesday or we lose $500,000. Now, if you're the producer, you obviously know that means get it done or you lose your job. So what can happen is like a producer's calling up farmers saying, hey, I need to use your land. And the farmer might be like, okay, but you know, I have animals, you can't be making really loud noises, no pyrotechnics, and you got to clean everything up. So the producer is sort of incentivized to lie and say, or maybe the producer doesn't even actually know the total contents of the video, right? Things changed last second. So they're very like, they're financially incentivized to be manipulative and sort of, they're put in positions where it's like, oh, it's either the producer's job or a civilian's job, like where it talks about, hey, maybe the manager would be willing to bend the rules. Well, you shouldn't really be pressuring civilians to bend the rules that could get them fired, you know? I'll show you a real life example. This is unused evidence from part 1. I had seen this Reddit post titled MrBeast leaving trash behind and debris at film site in Ayden, North Carolina. Apparently he left a large boat in a pond as well as debris around the film site in the bottom of the pond weeks and weeks after.
Is he gonna get charged for dumping?
This actually rendered it unsafe for campers and almost delayed the camp.
He can get charged for dumping. That's a... No? No one charged him? Charged his company? No one? Jesus Christ.
Multiple times due to not
getting away with shit.
Contact with MrBeast to get the stuff cleaned up out of the area. So I actually know that this is from a MrBeast video called Protect the Yacht, Keep It, where at the end of that video, he actually says...
If you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video. For the love of God, subscribe so we can pass T-Series.
Yeah, so he says at the end of the video that they made sure it was cleaned up. I was actually on site for part of this production. I was at this camp. So I decided to send an email out to the camp, basically saying, hey, I heard these rumors. I'm investigating a similar incidents. And the camp responded, actually not denying the claims, going on to say, I am sure that there are no perfect film productions, just as there are no perfect people. I am grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace, or forgiveness, has been offered to me so freely, I will choose to offer the same. So clearly alluding to the fact that there was a wrongdoing by MrBeast production team. And that's like sort of the thing is, if you're around Greenville...
Everyone's so scared of like, they're like tiptoeing around it so fucking badly. You know? Because they're so, like, you don't want to burn a bridge with him, especially if you're a place that they're renting from in North Carolina. Like, you need the business, so they can't, like, admit to him being fucked up. They need him to come back.
Know these stories of people working with MrBeast and it being extremely unprofessional, them not doing what they say, but they sort of get by a lot.
Could be an NDA, true.
Good public
true.
image. And like, I mean, this camp offered to host them completely for free. And I guarantee, like, if you went to the lake at the camp and you went magnet fishing, like, you
I guess it also depends on location agreements. Because I've worked as a locations manager before for short films. And location agreements are very particular. Especially like location insurance and things like that too. Like you have a lot of things and a lot of steps to go through. I just don't know. I don't know how they'd be allowed to leave a certain amount of debris without paying the location for doing so. Because they might be the type that's fine with the breach, just so they can throw the money at them and not have to worry about continuing to clean it and expending the days and labor. Which could be the wrongdoing. Like, I'm not, obviously, this is just speculation. This has nothing to do and based in fact. But as someone who has experience with those contracts, I guess if you're a multimillionaire, you could just be like, I breached the contract. Here's the extra fucking money. You deal with it, rip bozo, I'm out. Like, I never really thought about that because normally you just never want to break a location agreement. One, because it breeds bad blood. But two, because you really, really don't want to pay the exorbitant fees of fucking up anything, especially in a location agreement. So, I just don't know it from the perspective of a multimillionaire. And as a YouTuber company, I don't know if that's like has a different, and as someone who's one of your main sources of income for like rental places, for renting out places in North Carolina, right? Because he probably is one of the majority people to rent out things in North Carolina when it comes to like larger establishments.
You'd find all sorts of debris that's
interesting
still there to this day. Like they didn't clean it all up. So in the case of Jake Weddle, like I'm sure that there were producers who were in a position of, hey, if Jake gets out early, we don't have a video and your job is at risk. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on top of like him being delirious from not sleeping and everything to just manipulate him into staying. Which, you know, I'm sure this isn't like technically against the Geneva Convention on torture because he wasn't technically a prisoner. Like he could have left at any time, but because of the extreme pressure to stay in, it's not really a reasonable expectation.
It's one of those things too, where when you put someone through that amount of stress, they lose the ability to consent. And there's so many factors that led into what the situation was, the pressure, like even when we talk about workplace dynamics and work culture, especially when it comes to power dynamics relationship between boss and worker, there's too many factors here that just put him in a fucked position.
You know, walked out
because of the implication.
Okay. God damn.
I think Jimmy is a awkward kid who maybe had it a little rough growing up. I can't speak on that, but I do have empathy for it because I had it rough growing up. And
this guy has such a kind heart to say that, because I think MrBeast is into torturing motherfuckers for content, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this motherfucker is a serial killer with too much fucking money and likes to see people suffer and throw money at it, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Feels like he's creating torture porn in real time and then throwing away the footage, allegedly. You know, that's what it does not feel like some shy kid.
I think when you're hyper fixated on something, like I love stand-up, he loves YouTube, everyone, fixates on a thing, I think he just wanted to be the best YouTuber so bad, and because the industry's metrics, rewarded some not great behavior, if you're just going on autopilot based on what the numbers say, you can do some things that maybe aren't good, but reap reward. And I think Jimmy just did what the industry and maybe what the system that we have set up demanded. And he didn't care who got hurt. And
bro, I thought this video was gonna be about the Ava Chris Tyson allegations. Instead, it's a video about how the motherfucker tortured somebody. Right? Isn't this crazy? Thanks for calling me cute. But isn't this crazy? I thought that we were going into like...
I think Jimmy surrounded himself with really, really not so great people, and those people were the ones making the decisions. And I want to say, really important, there are so many good people that work at MrBeast who are damn good at their jobs. Like, when Jimmy comes in and asks for something impossible, it's these people's jobs to do it. And they shouldn't be able to make it happen, and they do.
They're just yes men. They're just sheeple, man.
And so, I don't think people wanted to talk about stuff because I didn't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't care about my fucking job. I'll die in a hole. I don't care. But I don't want my friends to lose their jobs. You know? I don't want anyone's reputation to be fucked. You know?
God,
But
this guy is...
Let's just go back to my dad for a second, if I may. My dad
Oh.
was like a swim coach, your neighborhood swim team. Everybody loved him. Everybody loved him. Behind closed doors, he's a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
And so, when stuff starts hitting the fan, what? Him? No. Surely. And then, everyone, thought my mom was the bitch, for not. But then the news broke, that.
Oh, it's like a cycle of abuse he's stuck in. The same way with his dad.
And it's like when that comes out, you're not surprised, You just go. When I saw my dad in the news, I said, "Oh, you idiots!" Like I was like, "No, what?" I was, "Oh, dumbass! God damn it!" But I wasn't surprised, and it was just a consequence that's happened to somebody who was really good at avoiding them for a long time. And I don't know, everybody loves Jimmy, and behind closed doors, he is not super great, and that image is cultivated purposefully and intentionally, and it's branding, it's marketing, it's
like so sad to see the repetition of like basically what his father is like.
Just one final question.
As a player.
Serious note, obviously the Ava Chris Tyson drama, and that's a known issue of traditional media. Did you witness or hear about any sexual misconduct?
If you're wondering what he means by that, that it's something that happens within traditional media, like as a work culture, people covering up those who commit like sexual abuse and sexual assault within the workplace, especially towards minors. Even with the recent documentaries that have come out about Nickelodeon, and a lot of instances that happen with abuse, even within Disney and such like that, allegedly for Disney. So I don't want to get fucked over by them.
Company.
It's crazy. I probably hung out with Ava the most out of the main cast, just because I was on Beast Hacks, now Beast Reacts. I don't know if it's still out. That was a lot of fun because it was just being silly and goofy in front of the camera. And Ava was the only person who was willing to film. Everybody else was too busy or didn't want to, and I was just trying to do my job. Sometimes there'd be like an offhanded joke that's a little gross. I mean, I'm a stand-up, so I'm very desensitized to that. I didn't hear anything that was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like when I saw, the reason I messaged you instead of talking to reporters sweetly like I have been was when I saw the Discord stuff because when I got there, it was like 2019. So I guess if the timelines add up, that would have been like handled, for lack of a better term. And then
I know the Discord messages got leaked from they had like a separate Discord where it was like the Shadman stuff. I don't know really about the Ava Tyson situation in general. I just know that they solicited a minor. Then they like groomed a minor, sorry. And then the minor came out saying that they weren't groomed. But then it's like, you were a minor. That's exactly how grooming works, is they make you believe that you're mentally mature, and while you're underage, right? It's very strange. That's what I heard. I'm not familiar with the situation enough. I would like to be more informed. If we have a video that kind of goes into that more, I would appreciate that. I would like more insight.
And then they started bringing more people on. Maybe they thought they had that under the rug, all right, we handled that. Now let's bring in some writers, And when I saw it, all that stuff started coming out. And the potentiality as of this moment of recording. You know, I know this has been happening fast and stuff has been coming out so fast. Just the potential that Jimmy could have been in those Discord chats, or even the potential that he participated in those Discord chats. After the shit he did to me, if you're gonna make fun of my dad, I don't care what happens to me and my career and reputation after this. I had to say some stuff. So whatever happens, happens.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Jake.
Did you ever send me or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
I've heard rumors. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't have any tangible evidence, but I've heard stuff that if it could be investigated, that'd be great. But it's like water cooler talk. But I've heard things, yes, of course. I heard, you know, people have been let go for sexually assaulting some very young people. The idea that Jimmy didn't know, or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. You know, he's very careful about his image. You know, the tangible.
You make content for kids. Your largest demographic is kids, and you've openly acknowledged it. And you have predators working at your company. What the fuck?
Tangible proof that he knew but covered it up. You know, how do you prove that, you know? Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything, who worked there. And like, you can, you know, someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you know, you get it. You can still have a job after you're on that's one thing. You know, you go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. You know, like if you do your time, that's fine. I think there should be rehabilitation in this country. But that guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people.
Oh, fuck off. Oh! Ages 1 to 11 years old. Oh, fuck off. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Oh, no. Okay. Sorry. I backed up. I backed up. I can't.
He's working at a channel that has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people. And they covered up the fact that
it's not even a fucking allegation. He was charged with it. He's convicted. He's on the registry. What the fuck are we doing here? And he's at your company. What are you doing?
He worked there. But he was like the manager when it all started.
The manager. The manager. They began. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
And you know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face can be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender?
My God.
With a physical mask. Like, do I have to... Is it more on the nose? Or... I don't know why they let him go, because there's rumors back and forth. You know, so I don't know why they let him go, but he did leave at one point. Even if that guy didn't do anything.
Oh my God.
They still knew about it, and he was still around. And what if he's one of the people in the Discord servers? What if he's not? I don't know. But when I was there...
Jake the Viking's brother-in-law, by the way. Wow, that's crazy that I said, I don't know this Jake, I just know about Jake the Viking, okay? So his brother-in-law. He tweeted about it. Oh my God, so it's just all confirmed. It's in the fucking family. Got you. That is... In short, they claimed it was false allegations he took the plea deal. If you took the plea deal, that means you plead to the crime, you bitch. That's what it means. Not to you. Sorry, you're not the bitch. But that's what it is. A plea deal is what it is. If you're gonna start changing the narrative, like that doesn't fucking matter. That's like pleading no contest is a different thing. But if you take a plea deal, that's you agreeing and then trying to lower your sentence. So you know there's dirt on you. Like, you know like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
What do you call
But I'm his brother-in-law, and I say that he is a decent guy. Oh, yeah, he just likes to fuck around with 11-year-olds and under.
it?
Sure.
Delaware. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
great.
Apparently they called
Great.
it Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname? Colloquially? Like, you know, yeah, it's Delaware. Don't ask him why, you know? The fuck?
That's not really how that works. Unless he has a restraining order, but you wouldn't really have a restraining order for the entire area. It would just be a distance away from the person affected. So you wouldn't really call them.
And Jimmy knew about it? The likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.
Okay, so finally I have a recorded phone conversation.
Warrants,
The person on the
maybe?
other end of this
Okay,
line
I'm not
is
sure.
A different former MrBeast employee.
Okay.
Talking about Delaware. Also, apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the MrBeast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry, and that's what actually like sparked this person to start recording.
Listen, they have to distort the voice this much so you don't know what gender they are, because sometimes even when you do a pitch change, you can still tell the gender of the person, so they really want to make sure it's not narrowed down by distorting it this much. So you just gotta like read along with us. Here, what I'll do is actually I'll mute this and then I'll read it for you guys, so that way it's a little bit easier for audio listeners who might be having me on the other monitor. All right, let's see. Delaware was a hustler, dude. Like, completely honest with you, he was a hustler. If there was extra money to be made and Jimmy didn't care about who was taking it, like if Jimmy was like, I need a set done, and Delaware is like, would you do it for like 1,000 more? Just go out there and fucking build a set for like 8 hours by yourself, you know? I'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it was Reed's idea to get him fired. And he was like, we need to get you a player manager. And then we went through the whole cycle of different VPs and the managers and, you know, people that won't talk to us anymore because they're scared of Jimmy. And if you were to go do anything and get affidavits and testimonials from other people, you have to move very quickly because one of those people are going to go back and tell Jimmy. The fuck is this? A W read?
MrBeast's former manager who was in the last video telling Jimmy, you know, hey, don't promote gambling to children.
Feels like the YouTube mafia.
I think Reed's taken 2 W's this month. You know, don't promote gambling to children and don't have offenders on payroll.
Yeah, good on Reed.
From where I'm sitting, it seems
Good job, Reed.
extremely unlikely that Jimmy wouldn't know, but you know, I know I'm sure that's the defense he'll go with, so I'll just say preemptively, like, you know, if somehow Jimmy didn't know about Delaware, I think it's still such an extreme level of negligence. Like, what, you're not doing background checks, everyone at your company knows, but somehow
You're not doing background checks on a fucking manager of someone in a high position. The person in that phone call was calling the person Delaware. Is he colloquially called Delaware within the company as a whole? And does Jimmy refer to him as Delaware? Those are the questions I have. Because that means, allegedly, he would know. Because otherwise, why would you just never even ask once what's with the nickname? Right?
you don't know. I think that needs more of an explanation than just saying, I didn't know. Well, how didn't you know? How did this person get into the company and you know, a company that makes content for children and is around children? So yeah, Jimmy, I think we need an explanation from you or you know, your lawyers and PR people and representatives and spokespersons and on how you could have not known that there was an offender at a high level in your company. And while you're responding to that, why not just respond to the allegations of rigging contest videos and selling fake signatures, running illegal lotteries, you know, the dangerous conditions on the set of Beast games, you should address those too. So yeah, just
oh my God, we haven't even addressed Beast games. Holy shit! Oh my God! I read an article actually about the Beast games, like nightmare shit going on. Oh my God. They didn't let a woman change her pad for 2 days. So she just had blood, like just vibing on her because she wasn't allowed to go change because they wouldn't give her new panties or anything, or even like new sanitary pads. Some people got their medications 2 days later. Which, if anyone had like blood pressure medication, SOL, I guess. Like, insane shit. Allegedly, of course. I'm not sure to get sued. Oh my God, the article I read was fucking psychotic. Oh my God. Does he have a third video? Is he making a third one? He's probably going to cover that in the third one, isn't he?
Yes, no. Okay, that was my interview with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle. I know he will be coming out with a longer cut of this interview as well as other content. So I just wanted to shout him out. Jake Weddle, top link in the description.
Please hug him. Someone, Lord, hug him.
I've waited a long time to talk about a lot of this publicly, so thank you for doing what you're doing.
Oh, you're so great, Jake. Oh, we love Jake Weddle in this house. What we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go straight to Jake Weddle.
Hey, welcome back to the.
We're gonna pop one of his videos on. Let's put on Let's do one of his stand-ups. The other stuff is talking about the MrBeast stuff going on right now, but he's really passionate about his comedy, so I would love to see one of his stand-up moments. So let's check out his stand-up moment.
No, when I was in school, I was actually almost failing my philosophy class. This is true. And then I started taking mushrooms. Yeah, I graduated a TA. So like, Jake, your homework's late again. I'd be like, time's an illusion. Like, Jake, these are all the wrong answers. Like, maybe in your subjective reality. Right again? Right again?
Damn, the philosophy major is thriving right now.
Some things after the pandemic are never coming back. And I'm so okay with that. Like, I don't know if you guys remember going to baseball games, and there would be a kiss cam. What the fuck were we thinking? What kind of casting couch bullshit? Whose job is it during an entire baseball game to be surveying the audience with a camera? And he's like, oh, fuck yeah. Them. Oh, put that on the screen for everybody. Anybody who volunteers for that job shouldn't get it. Yeah, they were here. And I realized I look like that guy, like that's fine. I realized what vibe I'm giving off, you know what I mean? I looked like I was going for like a rugged hipster thing, and I ended up getting pedophile's intern. Anybody else? I look like I set up the Wi-Fi on Epstein's island. That's what I look like.
Oh
no! The password is Clinton. Yeah, no, actually, this is true. Me and my girlfriend actually broke up right before the pandemic, which is true. I told my girlfriend, hey, I kind of want to be alone right now. And God was like, yeah, bet. You and everybody else. No one's touched anybody, 6 feet. But, now, I've been single for a minute. I've been trying to put myself back out there a little bit. I'm going to parties again recently, but I'm not good at parties.
Really? You're not good at parties?
Baggage, you know, like somebody come up to me at a party and be like, oh my God, is that tequila? Don't give me tequila. Tequila makes me get naked. And I'll be like, tequila makes my dad angry. So.
We are not the same. We did not match each other's freak. Samoj.
That's a bummer at a party, I gotta tell you. I went on a date recently. No, it wasn't a date. It was like she goes, come to this bar right now. And I go to the bar and she goes, okay, Jake, listen, I've had a bad day. I want to have a couple of drinks and I want to have sex. Great, awesome, wonderful communication that we're doing.
Ooh,
right?
okay.
We're going over every horrible thing that has ever happened to either of us. My therapist calls that trauma bonding. I call it vibing, right? So we're vibing. We're vibing. And she goes, Jake, I'm having a good time, but I can't have sex with you. And I go, okay, that's fine. What happened? You know? Going good. And she goes, first off, mustache. I go, that's fine, say no more. I get it. And then she goes, also, the way you speak, you sound like you're always doing a comedy bit all the time, and I don't want to have sex with that. And that's fair, because I don't know if you ever had sex with a guy who can't get out of comedy mode. They're like, hey, really good to be here.
I am not going to play the rest of this video, so that way you yourself, as a viewer, can go check it out on his channel. It'll be linked in the description below, as well as the pinned comment for this video. I really hope you support him. He's been through a lot, but clearly him taking that money to go out and do comedy shows after what he went through was well deserved and well worth it. He'd obviously deserved more money than that, but at least he's able to pursue his passion still. It's really nice to see that. I would read the Jake the Vikings tweet, but I don't want to make the end of the video about him and his brother-in-law. I want to make the end of this video about Jake Weddle, the guy who went through something very traumatic and now is doing his own thing. I think that's very important to end the video on that. If you want me to look more into the other stuff about the other things going on, I'm totally fine doing that. But I'd rather end it on the note talking about this person in particular, who deserved the screen time and went through something very traumatic, but came out alive. Just like he said in his text message to one of his friends, I came out alive. And it's good to see him here. It's good to see him doing something he loves, which is stand-up comedy. His delivery is really solid. So, again, link to the description, as well as the pinned comment for this video will be this one in particular, because I like the stand-up, and if you want to see the rest of it, there you go. Again, thank you so much for watching. I know that my kind of sit-down talks during a lot of these feel more like a podcast when checking out these kinds of videos, but it does mean a lot to me. Again, I don't really like doing YouTuber drama, but YouTuber crimes are something that I feel like need to be talked about. Especially like having my platform. It's something I care about that's in an industry that I'm directly involved in. And again, if you ever feel like uncomfortable watching any of these videos, don't feel like you need to, right? Watch whatever makes you comfortable or happy or makes you interested. Just because you watch my channel doesn't mean you need to watch every video. Just watch, pick and choose, right? I upload a lot of videos a day for that reason. So again, made it this far in, you probably already decided to binge watch these. And thank you so much for taking the time to hear out Jake in particular in this video, and for hearing my own opinions and my own conversation and dialogue. Thanks for being part of it. We'll catch you guys later. Bye, everybody.